Hey, Mark Shepard, honesthypnosis.com. And today in my daily mind mastery series, I had a couple of thoughts. I discovered early this morning that none of my videos or audios were working on any of my websites, on any of my courses. And in the past, that would have really jangled me. It would have really stressed me. It would have made me kind of upset and angry and anxious, and I would imagine all people going to my courses and not being able to get the videos and being mad at me and all this kind of stuff. And I didn't. We're working on the problem. It will get resolved, right? And it occurred to me that ultimately there is no such thing as things working out perfectly, except for the fact that we can interpret whatever happens as being perfect. And kind of I wanted to combine that with something that I have written on my whiteboard, which is behind the camera. And it's a thought that I already knew. And it's a thought I've already been telling people, but one of my mentors said it, and he said it in such a very precise way that I think it bears repeating. And I literally am repeating it, not just for you, but to really get it installed deep into my unconscious mind. And you can have that same intention of installing it deep in your unconscious mind. And here's the statement. The statement is, your unconscious mind doesn't go where it wants to go. It goes where you tell it to go most often. So this is why, and I'll repeat that, your unconscious mind doesn't go where it wants to go. It goes where you tell it to go most often. So this is one key reason why someone who has been smoking for 10 or 20 or 30 years or even 2 years comes to me and says, I want to stop smoking. And we give them the suggestion to be a fresh air breather and to stop smoking. And then they go off, and sometimes the suggestions lock in and sometimes they don't. When they don't lock in, it's because they are continuing to tell themselves over and over and over again that they are not fresh air breathers. They are not non-smokers. They're telling themselves something else. So that's in the smoking section. That's in the smoking area. In the weight loss, it's the same thing. People will literally be unaware of how they're literally hypnotizing themselves to keep the weight on, to not do the things they know they need to do to change, because first of all, your unconscious mind is an animal and it's a little bit lazy. We've talked about the path of least resistance, the path of least effort. That's a law of the universe. But if they change what they told themselves, if they repeatedly told themselves, I'm just the kind of person who takes exquisite care of his body, who exercises his body, who eats the right kinds of foods so that I have a lean, muscular body, who does the right kinds of intelligent exercise so that I have the ability to build muscles faster with less time. If you literally chanted that to yourself all day, every day, it would make a difference. But the problem is people drop in one positive thought. They'll go, oh, I am grateful that I am alive. Oh, and then they jump right back into, but this, but that, but they don't like the weather, but there's high taxes, but I don't like my boss, but and so whatever good a positive thought has, it cannot stand up to a barrage of habitual negative thinking. So I hope that makes sense. Your unconscious mind does not go where it wants to go. It wants you to tell it what to do. But you have to understand that it will do what you tell it to do most often, right? So that's really something, and it's very simple, but it's not easy, right? It's very simple, but it takes being aware of your thoughts. It takes being conscious more of the time and catching yourself. Oh, I just thought a negative thought. Let me flip it. Let me turn it into a why or a how question, and boom, you're back in business. All right. So hopefully that makes sense. It's just a quick thought for today. Your unconscious mind doesn't go where it wants to go. It goes where you tell it to go most often. So start telling your unconscious mind where you want it to go. Focus on what you want. Focus on what you want. begin to extinguish the habitual focus on what you don't want. A little don't want is okay, because it's nice to know, oh, there's a lion, I don't want to be eaten by the lion. But then you have to focus on running and finding a tree or some other way to protect yourself from the lion. All right? So have a great day. Mark Shepard, honesthypnosis.com. You are an incredible being of light. You're an energy field of possibility. And thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Thanks for paying attention. Thanks for doing the work on yourself that literally ripples outward and makes the world a better place for me to live in, as well as for you. Thanks so much. Mark Shepard, over and out.